Together, we walked past stained glass windows, through the tall European-style doors, and into the entryway of the mortuary. It's like they're pumping Febreze, potpourri, and Yankee Candle through the vents in here, I thought. I felt almost sick. Mom would have had an instant migraine with such profuse flowers, wherever they were. She would have pulled out her embroidered hanky and held it to her face. I had done this before. 9 years earlier, my husband Sam and I dressed our first baby for burial. And now my sisters and I were here to dress our mom. My heart bumped and bumped. The rolled leather straps of my purse pulled on my shoulder. I shuffled my feet. Craig, soft-spoken and well-tailored, led us down the carpeted hall. She's at the far end of the room. She has a blanket up to her shoulders. He paused for us to process. Take as much time as you need, and don't hesitate to ask me for anything. He opened the door. Jen and Heidi were first. I was in the middle with Susie and Marcia, then Eileen, Tammy, Katie. Lace hung in the windows, yards of lace. Every floor lamp, every table lamp was lit, but the lighting was soft. Boxes of tissues and bottles of water dotted the room. Scrolly wallpaper hugged the walls. It was all too familiar. I looked down at a bowl of breath mints. The room anticipated crying and bad breath. My sisters wiped their eyes and sniffled. Why am I not crying? Mom lay on a table, petite, peaceful, and still. We moved together towards her, our hands on one another. Shoulders, hair, faces, arms wrapped. My eyes stayed open and dry. I stood at her side. That disease was mean. Her features were stark. Jutted collarbone, exact cheekbones, hair swept straight back off of her forehead, lips closed, eyes closed. It was her, but so not her. "Hi, Muti," I whispered. Soon we were all swarmed about. Some began smoothing and turning the ends of her hair with a curling iron. Others looked at nail polish options, while I pulled out makeup and knew the ivory color of my foundation would be just right. We traveled the moods, tired, sad, sarcastic, reflective, laughing. Jen spoke out loud to her, "I'm sorry we're getting you ready for a viewing, Mom. I know you weren't super excited about having one." We all snickered, thinking of our mom's self-deprecation. "I'm not sure I want people looking at me. There are at least 87 things wrong with how I look anymore," she had said. "So, what color do you want painted on your toes for all of eternity, Mom? Radiant rose or tickled pink?" Heidi had asked. We giggled like girls. Radiant rose was the winner. It was a go-to color. "I bet you're glad I came and dyed your hair last Saturday," Marcia chimed. "I can't imagine trying to do that in here." And then I asked, "What if we used shimmery green eyeshadow?" Guffaws. We decided on creamy beige for her wrinkled eyelids and subtle pink for her lips. And we spared her from wearing a bra forevermore. When we were finished, when that lace-cuffed dress was soft at her wrists and her neck, when her hair came just so in front of her ears, we said goodbye to her pedicure and placed white slippers on her feet. I was still at her side. My mother, now a shell of herself, had given me life not once but over and again. She made me snack trays every Friday while I watched Sesame Street. She cried with me when Sam started dating someone else. She clapped at my basketball games, made my wedding dress and wedding cake, held my hand and told me, "You're doing a good job, dear," while I gave birth. She made the perfect burial dress for my baby Lucy. I looked at my mom's face, which almost looked right. She was almost sleeping there, but she wasn't sleeping. She was not sleeping. And now it was hard to breathe. My head made its way to my sister's lap, and my eyes were not dry. My daughter had died. My mother had died. Why can't she wake up? Why can't she just wake up? When it was time to leave the lace room, we pushed open the heavy side doors into sunlight. Cars were at a stop. The light turned green, so they moved ahead. More cars drove by. Some went east, some went west. I switched my purse to the other shoulder. I pulled out my keys and drove.